What's up, Barnhill family? Welcome back to the channel.
Yo.
So Nick, Bellator put on a 3-round main event.
Yes.
Wished it was 5. MVP versus Douglas Lima, I think, had 5 rounds transpired. We would have had a little bit less controversy here.
Yeah.
I personally thought Douglas Lima got somewhat robbed of a decision, but I do respect MVP's call out of Douglas immediately thereafter to have a rubber match instead of going for the title, which a lot of people thought he could do. So what do you think about the fight?
Well, MVP did the gentlemanly thing. When you're 1-1 in a two fight contest, you got to see who wins the third one. Best 2 out of 3 is what we call it. But I think this situation really did call for a 5-round fight. I think we would have had more clarity on the whole second fight, the second installment of this trilogy, which is definitely going to happen. It's hard because a lot of people look at MMA as a sport where takedowns mean more than knockdowns, or they mean less than knockdowns. So you don't really know where people lie. You don't know where those judges, feel as strongly in other situations. So I kind of understand how some people could give that fight to MVP. He moves really well. It's always fun to watch him. That's kind of why I wanted to see five rounds, because MVP is always entertaining, and Lima is a legit legend. So anything I can do to see more and more of them fighting, I'm down for. But I guess a third match will have to be done. I'm glad that, like you said, MVP wants to do it next instead of going for a title fight. I think that when you have too much stuff, too much baggage, and you jump to titles rather than trying to close a chapter, it can leave fans a little messed up and a little bit angry at you. So I think this is a smart move for MVP.
Yeah, I think so. And he's a competitive guy. He lost the first fight soundly, won the second fight controversially. So competitive people, especially when Douglas Lima is the person who handed him his only loss in his entire career, he's going to want to beat Douglas the way Douglas beat him, which is a sound, conclusive victory, a finish. And this was certainly anything but that. This was a back-and-forth fight. As you said, I do think Douglas Lima won the fight. I think Douglas Lima, he's got a more traditional fighting style. Right. He's a very good grappler. He's got good top pressure when he takes you down, as we saw in the third round against MVP. He doesn't get impatient. He waits for his moments and he lands his strikes. Good high guard. He's kind of what you would expect from just a very well-rounded striking and grappling MMA fighter. MVP is extremely dynamic, covering huge amounts of distance with these jumps and landing unorthodox shots. He's very fun to watch. But I think that Lima kind of has his style, the perfect style to counter that, which is somebody who can just kind of stay home and play the right game until you come in. Almost like how when Stephen Wonderboy Thompson fought Tyron Woodley all those years ago, Tyron at the time was just a very good, well-rounded, bread and butter fundamentals type of fighter, and that was what got him past the super dynamic Wonderboy. Right. So it'll be interesting to see who wins the third fight. I don't understand why Bellator didn't make this one a 5-rounder. I mean, it's in England. MVP is becoming a big star over there. It seems to me like, and obviously Bellator doesn't have to follow everything the UFC does. They're their own organization, and I can respect that. But it seems like they pick and choose when they do these 5-rounders, and it was a miss in this one, in this instance. Yeah,
and it kind of, because it was in London, it was 3 rounds. Shorter fights generally favor the strikers. Some wrestlers and grapplers and people like Lima who have been champions, they tend to do better in 5-round atmospheres. And while I think that MVP is a championship caliber fighter and a 5-round guy, I think that the fact that he's such a marketable guy, he's such a unique fighter, such a stylistically different fighter, I think that they see a lot of potential in him and they'd like to see him become a champion. And there's a huge obstacle in the way named Douglas Lima.
Right.
And I think that maybe they tried to not stack the deck against Lima, but try to do as many things and pull as many strings for MVP as they possibly could. Let's go to London. Let's make it 3 rounds. Let's, I don't know who the judges are, but I felt like that's kind of how it was. There was a little bit of home cooking is what they like to say. And the biggest rookie move of the entire weekend was that I checked my social media not thinking that the fights were happening overseas 6 hours or 7 hours ahead of us. And so I spoiled the results for myself, because the first thing that popped up on my Instagram was Bellator's post on who won the fight. And then, of course, you have to go in and start looking at the comment section and reading it, and it was pretty much torn. Everybody's like, Lima got robbed, and then the other half were like, MVP won that fight. Knockdowns count more than takedowns. So I had to go and watch it for myself and see exactly what happened. I can kind of understand how the judges came up with MVP winning the fight, but I did see Lima getting it done, and the third round was so clear. The first two, MVP won the second one. The first one was you could go either way. So I really have a tough time, but it just makes for a perfect trilogy match. Unlike the Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury trilogy that we're about to see, we kind of know that these guys are even. We don't really know that Wilder and Fury are even.
Right.
And in this one, if I said, hey, 3 months from now, MVP and Douglas Lima are fighting each other, you don't really know definitively who's going to win that fight. Whereas like the Fury Wilder thing, 99% of people are like, Wilder's getting lucky. Yep. He's not. There's no chance he gets lucky a third time in a row. Yeah.
I don't think that this is that type of situation at all. This is a fight that could go either way if they make this third fight. I think they should make this third fight. I think MVP was correct in asking for it, and I agree. Bellator does have sort of the task of trying to make stars right now. They don't have the star power that the UFC has. Everybody knows that. But somebody like Michael Venom Page, the way he fights, the way he talks, even just the MVP acronym, it's all very cool. He's extremely marketable. And so I think that they weren't trying to do Douglas Lima dirty, but they also at the same time weren't trying to do him any favors by making it a 3-rounder, making it in London. I do believe had it been a 5-rounder, we would have had a definitive winner. And that's not to say that MVP wouldn't have sparked Lima in the 4th or 5th round and won by technical knockout. Right. He certainly could have. But I think that either way that went, we would have had more clarity and we would have been more sure in our takeaway from this fight than we are. And we'd actually have more to talk about. All we can really lead into with this is what the next fight might look like. Right. And I think that, I just hope they make it. I think it's 50-50, honestly.
Yeah, I think it needs to happen. It needs to happen soon. And I think it should be for 5 rounds. Both of these guys kind of fought at what seemed like a 5-round pace. Yeah. But the fight ended short. That's why it felt like it ended short for me. And I'd like to see him go. Hopefully they do it for 5 rounds, maybe some neutral territory. Don't go to Atlanta. Don't go to London. Go somewhere. Yeah. Go to Vegas or something like that. So I'm sure Bellator will do the right thing. Scott Coker knows what he's doing. And these fighters, man, they put it all out there. It was a great fight and another good one for Bellator. So, props to them.
For sure. Guys, thanks so much for watching this video. If you've enjoyed the content, a like, comment, and subscribe is always appreciated. And let us know in the comments, who do you think won? Did the judges in England get this one right, or was Lima robbed? We always enjoy hearing y'all's opinions and your thoughts on these fights, so keep them coming, guys. And until the next video, have a great day.
Peace.